Welcome back to another video on Fruits of the Spirit. There's a new question, and that question is, what happened to respect? Respect is an integral part of society, and everything starts to fall apart without it. Let's look at some examples of how God enforced the need for respect in his people. For instance, we see respect for elders in Leviticus chapter 19 verse 32. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear thy God. I am the Lord. There's also respect for parents, which we see in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 1-2. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. Then there's respect for authority, which St. Paul told us about in Romans chapter 13 verses 1-7. But let's look at verses 1 and 2 only. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For another set of verses on this topic, see 1 Peter chapter 2 verses 13-14 and verse 17. But of course, there's also respect for him, God Almighty, and we see this in every nook and cranny in the Bible. Like in Exodus chapter 20 verse 3, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So as we can see, God champions respect and expects it from his people. Because of this, his children and others from different religions with their own gods uphold these principles in their day-to-day lives. Not only that, but when you have someone that is watching over you, and you know that you're obligated to serve this person and uphold the principles he has set out for you, otherwise there'll be consequences, you are much more likely to uphold these principles. For example, imagine if suddenly there was no prison system, and even no laws. Do you think all of those law-abiding citizens we now have will still be law-abiding? Probably not. It's the same for religion, considering the fact that he's always watching what we do, according to what was explained to us in Hebrews chapter 4 verse 13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. There's also what Job said on the same topic in Job chapter 34 verses 21-22. So now, what would then happen if the supernatural were now taken out of the picture? Well, you don't need to imagine this one. As we can see today, spirituality and religion are taking a back seat in people's lives, fulfilling the prophecy in Amos chapter 8 verses 11 and 12. It shows up less in people's discussions, interests, ambitions, and considerations for new decisions. For Christianity, it went from presiding over everyday life, which God has wanted and advised in Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, to being shoved into about 2 hours on Sunday. And since spirituality is fading away, respect for anyone, no matter who they are, goes right along with it, for the reason touched on earlier. People don't see God as someone that's actually important. This is because we're in a period called the last days, and Paul described many of the character traits that people would have in this time, in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1-5. Isaiah the prophet also shed some light on how respect will, and has faded away in our time, in Isaiah chapter 3 verse 5, which I think we should take a look at. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. Take a look at the lives of people from the ages of 12 to 18 in schools. The amount of disrespect for teachers rises every year, and it's not stopping. Imagine if a child in Solomon's time yelled at their parents or flat out disobeyed them. It was unheard of, but that's commonplace today. There are also riots all the time because no one respects the government, and even the government itself is becoming less and less respectable as the years go by, but that's a topic for another day. When there's no higher being that people respect and expect to watch over them so that they can respect morals, these same morals, like respect, slowly but surely fade away. But to round off, respect for elders, parents, governments, and especially for God has slowly gone out in our time. Bibles get replaced with novels, and time for Bible study gets replaced with going to the movies with friends, and it only gets worse from here. But that doesn't mean that you have to go along with it. As long as you've been called by God, you can still hold on to that respect you have for Him and His values, like respect. See John chapter 6 verse 44. So, remember that. It might help someday. And that's all for today for the answer for what happened to respect. If you liked the video or learned something new, then please consider subscribing and liking. And if you want to be right back at my channel when I post again, then click that notification bell. Have a great day, and God bless you.